Welcome back to the brand new episode of BlastBoxx TV. I'm just gonna go over a quick little episode right now. Recently I've been hearing, I think it was over the weekend or so, that one man, AJ Styles, is taking shots at Dixie Carter and saying that she ruined TNA, and I really want to make a response to that because I know pretty much nobody else is going to do it, but I will. I don't care about the size of my channel. I will. I do remember it was around August 2005, I believe. It was AJ Styles and The Biz, or it was a 6-man tag team match when I fell in love with TNA. It felt refreshing, it felt new, and it felt unique. Few months go by, whatever. I started watching some of the old TNA stuff online. I was watching one of AJ Styles' early X Division matches, the round robin match with Psychosis, Jerry Lynn, AJ, and I think Amazing Red. I might be wrong about the last person, but I do remember that. And if my memory serves me right, nearly every time the company came to AJ or they needed help, AJ was the fall guy. He was the face of the company. They never said, hey, AJ, you need to do this, you need that. They just gave him the title, have him as much free time on the mic as he wants to, and go out there and perform. And pretty much that's what he did. He was with TNA and Ring of Honor at the same time too. I think 2007 when Ring of Honor, when Impact broke away from Ring of Honor because of their former owner got involved with a sex ring scandal and stuff like that. So he was pretty much with TNA until his release from TNA. Now, I don't know what's wrong with AJ, but at the same time, I think something's wrong with the dude's head. He's pretty much saying that Dixie's destroying Impact. If I'm even serving me right, Jeff Jarrett, he started Impact. He was, I think, at least one, maybe a few events into TNA in the early days, and he almost went bankrupt. Guess who WJ turned to get help because he didn't want his company to fall. He didn't want his company to fail out of the gate. He went to Dixie Carter and Panda Energy. Now, I don't see AJ badmouthing Double J. Dixie did more for that company than Jeff Jarrett ever did. Yeah, he was the head of it for a little bit, then he was helping getting talent together, but at the same time, he was pretty much booking himself to be the top guy every time. And nobody cared. Nobody cared for him as the draw. Nobody cared for him in the ring because he's boring in the ring. Only good thing about him is his theme song. Other than that, he's boring, washed up, never that good in the first place. His father, great guy. Just Jeff, no. Now, I don't know about Vince and all, but I do know that you watch back all those early days of TNA matches and events and stuff. Who do you see sitting in the stands with the fans? Dixie. You never seen Vince do that with the fans in his company, because his company is more about making that money, and being corporate. Whereas Dixie had a homemade feel to the company, and that's why so many people was trying to get into the company. If they stayed long enough, guess what? They didn't do it the bad times, and they lived the good times. Now, it wasn't Dixie's fault that they were stuck in the Impact Zone for that long and didn't draw a dime, because that's Double J's fault. He's the one who made that deal. And he was one who was on day-to-day operations. Dixie was just one funding everything until she got tired of his stuff, or he just left and she took over. So you can't blame everything on Dixie. She did her best with what WJ left her, and she wasn't trying to put all her money in one basket. Yeah, it took her a long time to do the touring thing. That's on her. When it came to the talent thing, I blame Bruce Pritchard or whoever else was in that managerial role, because there's plenty of evidence of Bruce Pritchard letting people contract lapse and let them go. Hell, Doc Gallows, he was supposed to be Impact World Champion at one point after he broke up Aces and 8. But guess what happened? Bruce Pritchard was like, nope, I'm just going to let this guy contract lapse. So you can't blame everything on Dixie, AJ. Because your little mind is getting kind of hazy right now, because you just start blasting everybody. You trying to put Paul Heyman on blast. You trying to go out to Dixie Carter. And yet you a Christian? I mean, serve me right. I just had my sermon yesterday where the guest pastor was saying, you can't be a Christian and have contradictions. You can't say you're a Christian, but yet you saying mean things about other people, which I'm working on myself. So I say to you, AJ, you need to work on yourself and stop trying to blame everybody else. You can't keep blaming Paul Heyman. Guess what? Paul Heyman was just an employee of the WWE. It was Vince's call at the end of the day. Now, I don't know how much that money's getting to your head, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to let you know that Paul Heyman is not in control of the company. He checks in with Vince, who's the owner of the company. So anything that happens in the company is Vince's final seal, Vince's final approval. And Vince never liked Paul Heyman. He was just there for the fall guy. So you going off on Paul Heyman like, oh, he's the one that make all these issues. Guess who you work for? You work for a white, racist, out of touch old man, and you trying to blame Paul Heyman, who's trying to make the best of a worse situation with the company. There's plenty of stories of writers trying to leave the company. Plenty of stories of writers having to sit there till 2 o'clock a.m. waiting for Vince because he want to take his slow ass time. So AJ, I ask you, you need to spend more time at church, read your Bible, and practice every word in that Bible. Because you going off way too much on other people, and you starting to look like a hypocrite more than a Christian like you want to claim you are. Now, you can put me on blast or anybody else on blast. It won't hurt me because I know I'm going to get a lot of attention from you going off on me. I've been watching you since 2005. I've been watching you in Impact, ROH, New Japan, heck, even in Family Wrestling Entertainment, where you was the last champion, and the Bucks were the last tag team champions. So you don't try to go off on other people, AJ, and not expect people to dig up your misdeeds. Just remember one thing: we in cancel culture. You want to go off on Paul Heyman for this and that? Okay. You want to go off on Dixie and all this and that? Okay. Just remember, when people start digging through your little files of bad secrets and stuff, don't start blaming people for your misdeeds. Now, you can come blast me. I'm fine with that. I can handle my own. But this is BlastBoxx TV. Stay out of the blast radius.